How's it going, people? I've done an incredible amount of research, found clips from numerous poor quality old rally videos, and got a real treat for you today. Recently I've made videos on some of the special 9Ns you might not have heard of or seen, but both the R25 and Clubsport I've mentioned were ultimately high performance road cars. The subject of this video, however, is the VW Polo 9N Super 1600 rally car, built for the Junior World Rally Championship class. Though rally cars do have to be road legal to get from stage to stage, the Super 1600 was of course a purpose-built race car. In this video I'll pull together all the information we know about the car, give you the history of its performance, and go a bit more in depth into how it came to exist. Remember to like, comment and subscribe for more weekly car content, but without further ado, let's get into the video. Just like for Formula 1 you have Formula 2 and Formula 3, the World Rally Championship has its own feeder-esque class, the Junior World Rally Championship, or JWRC as it's commonly referred to. It started back in 2001 and the class of cars was originally named the Super 1600s, referring to their 1600cc engines, or more commonly referred to as 1.6 litres. A few Polo 6N2s were entered into the 2001 and 2002 seasons through a third-party team named Lehtinen Motorsport with backing from VW Racing, though they had limited success, as the legendary Sebastian Loeb won the 2001 series in his Citroën Saxo, and Daniel Sola followed in his footsteps a year later with the same car. As the Polo 9N was introduced in 2002, VW knew that the Super 1600 car had to be updated, so at the German round of the World Rally Championship, VW Motorsport unveiled the new FIA Super 1600 Spec 9N that would compete in the 2003 Junior World Rally Championship as the course car for the event, driven by Jutta Kleinschmidt, the first woman to win the Paris-Dakar Rally, with her co-driver Fabrizia Pons, formerly the famous Michel Mouton's co-driver during the Group B era. The car was also displayed by VW Racing at the 2002 Essen Motor Show a couple of months later, and was made available to any third-party teams looking to run them for their respective rally championships in 2003. One thing I spotted from the pics of Kleinschmidt driving the car was the VW Motorsports logo. If you've ever seen the logo for the Mark IV Golf R32, you'll surely notice the similarity. This would suggest to me that the car was made at least to some degree in conjunction with the Volkswagen R division, which at the time was called VW Individual, the same group that made the R32 and the Clubsport I mentioned in a previous video, so I'd be interested to see how much overlap there was. As you can see, the car looked fairly different to the average 9N, and in my opinion is probably the best looking 9N ever made. It featured a maxi style body kit with wider arches front and rear, a much larger lower front grille for better airflow to the radiator, bonnet vents for even more cooling, a rear wing, roof scoop, and a front splitter designed for tarmac rallies, although I rarely see this being used in any of the videos I see of the car in action. One extra you might have seen though was the set of nighttime spotlights on the front of the car, which doubled the number of circular lights you'd expect to see on a 9N. This whole wider body kit was in line with most of the cars it was competing against, as it was pretty much the style of that era of rallying. Check out how wide the Clio was, for example. Of course, the car was fully equipped on the interior with all the required safety features, like the roll cage, Recaro bucket seats and harnesses, and also came with an OMP steering wheel, and a modified version of the original Polo 9N dashboard, which is pretty cool. Under the car you'd find the 1.6 litre engine putting out 221 brake horsepower to the front wheels, which is pretty significant as it weighed just 950 kilograms, again following regulations. It also had a sequential gearbox and hydraulic handbrake, as you might expect of any rally car. All this together made for quite a promising sounding rally car, and it would be going toe to toe with the likes of the Fiat Punto, Suzuki Ignis, Peugeot 206, Ford Puma, Renault Clio, Citroën Saxo and Opel Corsa. Kinda sounds like a classic Cars with JB First Cars video. Again, VW Racing backed the Lehtinen Motorsports team, as well as a few other smaller third-party teams, with the main drivers being Kosti Katayamaki and Oskar Svedlund. Sorry I ruined that first name. However, the promise of the 9N quickly turned into a nightmare. Of the 7 rounds in the JWRC calendar, the 9N finished 3 times in total between those two main drivers. points. Katamayaki was disqualified for a brake issue at the first round, then actually won the second round in Turkey despite a clutch failure, showing the car had some ability, then retired from every single round after that, while Svedland only finished 2 events with a 5th in Greece and an 8th in Finland. Though the pair did crash out a couple of times, the reliability of the car was its greatest weakness, as it had multiple steering, gearbox, engine, drive shaft, alternator and other mechanical issues throughout the year. It was so bad in fact that VW Motorsport were no longer fielding any Polo 9Ns in the 2004 season, and Katamayaki jumped ship to Suzuki to continue JWRC, while Svedland left to do some Group N rallying instead. All in all, it would be hard to argue the JWRC Polo 9N was anything but a failure, but the car did continue on beyond this. VW Motorsport clearly either continued to sell these kit cars, or people just kept rallying the existing ones, as through my research I've been able to find footage of the S1600 9N being used in regional competitions all the way through to 2011, even though the very similar looking 9N3 S2000 was also available by 2005. Most commonly the car has been used in events in Spain, Portugal, Belgium and Bulgaria, but it has also been seen throughout Eastern Europe and in Greece. By the way, if you haven't already, please do hit the subscribe button to get at least 2 car related videos every week. I'd love to have you on board, and if you're already subscribed, 85% of you haven't hit the notification bell, so give that a hit to ensure you're the first to know when a new video drops. Some notable drivers from the footage I can find on the internet include Jose Maria Ponce with his 7-Up liveried Polo, Pedro Meireles from Portugal, and Kakuzi Zolt from Hungary with his bright orange Polo. Sorry, I've probably absolutely obliterated all 3 of those names. Across all 270 of the events, I can see a 9N Super 1600 taking part in, which includes 307 starts when you include events where more than one took part. The car retired from almost 32% of them, so the reliability or crashing point remains pretty clear, as you can see here. That being said, the car has had a bunch of podiums in regional competitions, and a few class victories, so it's not all bad. From what I can see, there are still 3 active Polo Super 1600s in competition, but I can't confirm whether these are 9Ns or not, and of the original cars, there are still at least 2 remaining factory 9Ns that exist somewhere in the world from that unsuccessful 2003 JWRC campaign. Now what I'd like to know is whether this car could actually still be rebuilt today, say from a normal road going 9N, maybe my road going 9N. I found most of the body kit online, and I'm sure it's not impossible to source the rest, and given my dad is currently building the Peugeot 206 WRC car, I'm sure with his help a 9N JWRC car wouldn't be impossible. It's just an idea for now, but what a cool project that would be. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little research video on the Super 1600 Polo. Hopefully you learned something new. It took a lot of time to research all this, going through numerous rallying videos on YouTube to find small clips of the 9N Super 1600 in action, which would otherwise be buried forever. So if you did learn something or enjoy this video, a like would be much appreciated. Let me know if you have any further information in the comments down below. It would be great to hear from people with more expertise than me in this subject. Massive thank you to the patrons. Remember to like, comment and subscribe for more weekly car content, but thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Listen.